In 2010, Wildlife Commission staff began a thorough evaluation of deer populations and hunting season frameworks. Biological evaluations of the statewide deer herd were completed in 2015, and results were presented in public forums across the state in June of that year. Hunters at these forums expressed a strong interest in continuing this evaluation, so a scientific survey of deer hunters was conducted in 2016 to better understand the desires of deer hunters across the state and the level of support for potential changes to improve management. Survey responses from 33,750 hunters were analyzed at county, regional, and statewide levels. Public forums were held in 2017 to present survey results and potential changes in hunting seasons that could improve the condition of the deer herd positively impact deer hunting. 80% of those in attendance indicated that they either supported the management options presented at the forums or would accept these changes if results improved management of the deer herd. Proposed regulations were developed from the management options presented at these forums and are being presented at public hearings in January 2018 for additional comments. Detailed and summary documents of the biological evaluation, deer hunter survey results, and forum presentations can be found at www.ncwildlife.org/deerstudy. Results of the biological evaluation concluded in 2015 indicated existing deer season zones are not the best biological fit for today's deer population. Ideally, the timing of harvest seasons should be anchored around the timing of breeding seasons for numerous biological and sociological reasons. Peak rut dates vary by more than 2 months across the state, ranging from early October in parts of eastern North Carolina to December in western North Carolina. Existing season zones do not adequately account for differences in peak rut dates across the state and within season zones. Therefore, the condition of the herd can be improved by varying degrees by reducing young buck harvest, shifting the time of buck harvest to a later date, and adjusting doe harvest rates. Results from the 2016 survey of deer hunters indicated hunter satisfaction has declined since the last statewide survey in 2006. Over this same time period, deer numbers have declined in many parts of North Carolina, which could be a contributing factor to the decline in hunter satisfaction. Most hunters want to see an increase or stable deer numbers and also believe we have too few mature bucks. 81% of respondents were willing to see changes in deer hunting seasons to improve herd condition, but their preferences on these changes were mixed. An analysis was conducted from the survey results to determine what trade-offs in season length, timing, and bag limits hunters would be willing to make to improve the condition of the herd. This trade-off analysis was used to guide development of 5 new proposed season zones and management options for each season zone that balance hunter preference with the biologically optimum management of the herd. The biological evaluation, the scientific survey of deer hunters, and feedback from 2 rounds of public forums resulted in the development of the following proposed regulations. The first proposed regulation would establish 5 new deer season zones as shown in this map. The current eastern deer season zone would be split into 2 new zones to better account for biological variability, particularly with respect to differences in peak breeding dates across this part of the state. Additionally, Cleveland County would be combined with the northwestern season zone, and Rutherford and Polk counties combined with the western deer season zone to better align those counties with the most biologically suitable zone. For each of the 5 deer season zones, Commission staff are proposing the hunting seasons presented in this table. These proposed regulations include changes in bag limits, as well as changes in gun and black powder season lengths and time frames. Black powder season would be reduced from a 2-week to a 1-week season, and would open the Saturday before the opening of gun season for all zones. The opening of gun season would occur on Saturday in each zone. Gun season would open 5 days later in the Western Zone, 1 week later in the Southeastern Zone, and 2 weeks later in the Northeastern Zone. Gun season would close on the first Sunday in January in all zones. There would be no change in the opening date of archery season, and any changes in the timing or length of gun or black powder seasons would result in additional archery hunting days by default. This proposed regulation would establish a statewide antlered deer bag limit of 2, an antlerless deer bag limit of 4. Bonus antlerless harvest report cards would be restricted for use in the urban archery season only. There would be no changes in the antlerless tags given through DMAP or the Deer Management Assistance Program. These proposed regulations promote sustainable doe harvest aimed to increase or stabilize deer numbers in many areas of the state. Removing a week from the beginning of the current black powder season, shifting gun season later in parts of the state, and shifting either sex days earlier in parts of the state would notably improve timing of the harvest relative to timing of the breeding season. A statewide antlered buck limit should improve the buck age structure and sex ratio not only in the eastern half of the state, but across North Carolina. This is due to the fact that many hunters currently travel across and harvest bucks both east and west of the current buck limit line. In addition to improved herd condition, these changes should also result in intensified rut activity and increased opportunity to see or harvest mature bucks. Establishing a uniform closing date for gun season and statewide bag limits also provides regulatory consistency. These proposed changes were derived from a transparent, data-driven process aimed to simultaneously improve the biological condition of the deer herd and long-term hunter satisfaction. To discuss these and other proposed regulations changes, 9 public hearings will be held across North Carolina in January. Before you make final plans to attend, check the Commission's website, ncwildlife.org, for updates, including weather-related rescheduling. The public comment period opens December 1st. Comments can be submitted in many ways, including email, online, postal mail, or in person at a public hearing. The comment period closes February 1st, 2018.